18. Augustine on the Pelagians. It's not surprising, then, that Pelagianism spread so readily. Although clearly a novelty in the Church, it had the advantage of conformity to the pagan presuppositions of men. According to Warfield, the central and formative principle of Pelagianism was the assumption of the plenary ability of man. The Pelagian accusation against orthodoxy seemed a persuasive one. First, predestination or sovereign grace was a denial of free will. Second, a denial of free will was fatalism, immoralism, and a destruction of history. Augustine, in meeting this attack, was, first of all, resolved to be strictly biblical. For whenever a question arises on an unusually obscure subject, on which no assistance can be rendered by clear and certain proofs of the Holy Scriptures, the presumption of man ought to restrain itself, nor should it attempt anything definite by leaning to either side. Man's creaturely reason must submit to God's infinite wisdom as declared in Scripture, but we must first bend our necks to the authority of the Holy Scriptures in order that we may arrive at knowledge and understanding through faith. Second, sovereign grace, which is proclaimed through all Scripture, means predestination. Between grace and predestination, there is only this difference, that predestination is the preparation for grace, while grace is the donation itself. If there is a sovereign God, it is impossible for there to be anything but predestination, which is merely another way of saying that God is sovereign, that God is the first cause as well as the sustainer of all creation. The alternative to predestination is not free will, but chance. Therefore, it follows, third, that it is predestination and grace which establish free will. Do we then by grace make void free will? God forbid. Nay, rather we establish free will. For even as the law by faith, so free will by grace is not made void, but established. For neither is the law fulfilled except by free will, but by the law is the knowledge of sin, by faith the acquisition of grace against sin, by grace the healing of the soul from the disease of sin, by free will the love of righteousness, by love of righteousness the accomplishment of the law. Accordingly, as the law is not made void, but is established through faith, since faith procures grace whereby the law is fulfilled, so free will is not made void through grace, but is established, since grace cures the will whereby righteousness is freely loved. Man is a creature, thus he is a secondary cause, not the primary cause. His free will is not the absolute freedom of God, but the freedom of the creature. The freedom for man claimed by Pelagianism is the freedom of God, a plenary power, and it is a manifest impossibility. The freedom of the creature is possible only through grace, which reestablishes the lost liberty of the creature by its victory over the slavery of sin. Thus, faith establishes the law, and grace establishes free will. Wherefore, the free choice of the human will we by no means destroy when the grace of God, by which the free choice itself is helped, we deny not with ungrateful pride, but rather set forth with grateful piety. For it is ours to will, but the will itself is both admonished that it may arise, and healed that it may have power, and enlarged that it may receive, and filled that it may have.